What's up, team? Road to 300 Kilos, episode 22. It is good to be back on my regularly scheduled programming as far as training. I took all of last week kind of off, just doing bodybuilding and just trying to feel good after my competition. And then this week we are starting the new program. You'll see that up in the upper left-hand corner. But the big topic of today's video is going to be how I've had to change this program a little bit. So the session that you're watching now is from Monday, and it was the first day of my new program. It's kind of this amalgamation of two programs. I'm gonna go off on a little bit of a tangent here, so bear with me. But basically, my squat strength needs to go up. My baseline strength needs to go up. Because you're supposed to be snatching about 60% of your back squat, and currently I am. I'm clean and jerking almost 85% of my front squat. So my limiting factor is my strength. So going into this, writing this new program for myself, or trying to combine some programs, or just trying to find a program that I want to run, I'm thinking, okay, my squat strength needs to go up. So let's focus on squats. So I took Clarence Kennedy's squat program that I ran way earlier this year when I had a hand injury, so I couldn't really do a lot of ollie, but I was able to squat. I put like 20 kilos on my squat doing this 10-week program. So I'm going to run this thing again, but I can do ollie now, so I want to still keep doing ollie because I need to keep practicing, and I don't want that to go away. I want my joints to stay used to the Olympic lifts, my body to stay used to the Olympic lifts, not lose any of my technique gains, and I want to do the lifts, and I want to get better at them because there's some things that I want to work on in those lifts as well. So my mentality going into this session was, all right, I need to focus on squats. Let me do my squats first. But I think I forgot how hard Clarence's squat program is. It is very demanding. I'm squatting 5 days a week, and like in this session I'm doing 4 sets of 7 paused back squats, and by the time I finished my 4th set, hell, even in the middle of my sets, my legs were Charlie horse, like they're just already sore and Charlie horsing, and just I was drinking pickle juice and eating pineapples and trying to get rid of the Charlieing because I still had a whole ollie session to go. And after I did these squats, squatting down in my snatch position and bending over and stuff just did not feel good. And I think my snatches suffered because of that, or at least at the beginning they did. It just didn't feel right. Didn't feel like my snatches normally do. So after this session, I was like, okay, let me think about how I want to do this. So the ollie stuff that I'm doing right now is out of Greg Everett's weightlifting book, just his Olympic weightlifting book. Greg Everett is from Catalyst Athletics, super knowledgeable, awesome guy. So I was thinking, let me try one of his programs and just kind of mix it up, because I ran Clarence's weightlifting program 2 times in a row. I made a lot of gains, but by the end of those 2 programs, my body's pretty beat up and I want to beat my head against the wall. So I want to change things up. I don't really want to do snatch and clean and jerk every day for a while like I was, and this program that I found in Greg Everett's book isn't snatch and clean and jerk every day. Like you'll see in this session, it's just snatch, or like my Tuesday session was jerks, and like jerks from blocks, and then power cleans, and then like push presses, and then accessories. And another thing that I like about his programming is he has much more accessories that I need. Like he has days where at the end of the session you're supposed to do upper body push bodybuilding or upper body pull bodybuilding, and I think that's some things that I was lacking in my last program, and why my shoulders and things like that started to hurt so bad. So I think sticking with some bodybuilding, like 2 or 3 days a week, is going to help keep some of that stuff a little bit healthier and more pain-free. So let me take a deep breath here and gather my thoughts on that after that little rant. So I've combined Clarence's squat program with one of Greg Everett's weightlifting programs, and I'm going to try to do 2-a-days. So Tuesday and Wednesday. Today, the day that I'm recording this, it's Wednesday. So yesterday and today, I went in at 7 in the morning and did my ollie stuff, and then I go in later in the afternoon or in the evening and I do my squat session. So far, it's been pretty nice. Now, I'm not going to be able to do this every day because some days work is going to intervene with being able to go in early. So I'm thinking on days that I have field work and I can't get in early and I can only put in one session, I'm thinking do the squats and then do light ollie. Whatever's programmed for that day, just kind of cut the volume and maybe even the intensity, or maybe just don't do ollie at all, because squatting is the focus. As long as I can do some Olympic lifts 2 or 3 times a week, I'm going to be happy, because I'm still going to be keeping my body used to those lifts while focusing on the squats, which is what I need to focus on. I mean, you'll see here after my squat session, I'm nursing my legs pretty good. I'm trying to let them rest before I start my snatches, because I needed that time. I was drinking pickle juice, I was doing all kinds of shit to try to stop them from being so sore so quickly. And I have these snatch triples because, you know, it's at the beginning of a program, so volume is pretty high, and there's like 5x3 snatches up to like 85-90 kilos, and they felt really weird. So if you guys have watched a lot of my videos, hopefully you'll maybe notice a little bit of a technique change in some of these snatches. Obviously I didn't do it every rep, you know, I'm trying to work on some things and I couldn't do it every rep, but I'm trying to scoop a little bit more instead of bang the bar so much with because remember, I had a bruise on my pubic bone pretty bad after the last cycle because of my technique deficiencies. So I'm trying to scoop a lot more and let the bar ride up my legs a little bit more, not super tight to my legs where it's like slowing the bar down. I don't know if you guys have ever watched like Laura Donna Toma's technique, but something a little bit more like hers, where it's much more of a nice smooth lift, and then at the very top she just has a ton of extension out of nowhere, and she's not like banging the bar. It's more of a scooping motion. And I don't want to be like the Chinese weightlifting team where they're super scoopy and that's all they really grind the bar up their legs, but it's kind of hard to describe. Just go look up Laura Donna Toma. The Tominator is her nickname. Pretty badass nickname, but she's an awesome lifter, and I love her snatch technique and her clean technique. Her jerk technique's not the greatest, but she's an Olympian, so what can I say? So that's kind of my methodology when it comes to how I'm going to work on my technique for my snatch. And you'll see some of these snatches, I'm better at that. Now, here in a minute, when I get up to 85 kilos, it looks like I haven't snatched before because I was freaking wore out from my squats, man. Like, it was hard. I couldn't extend the bar very hard or fast. And I mean, 85 felt like freaking 115. It was crazy. But you'll see there, those are much more like connected, and I don't bang my hip as much and stuff like that, which is really nice. Like, none of these caused any pain or felt like I banged the bar a lot. And I think here's the set where I start missing it. I missed one or two. Let's see here. Yeah, see, I missed that. And everything looked fine. I just didn't have any oomph, you know what I mean? Even this one, everything's fine, but there's not enough oomph there to where it gets in the tiniest, it gets in the right spot like it should. So I miss. And I end up stopping there because at this point I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to go super well after those snatches. So next up on the docket is the snatch pulls, the deficit snatch pulls. And these are tough, but I think they're going to help me a lot in the long run because my pulls need to get stronger and my specifically the transition from like off the floor to after the knee, because my back kind of changes and gets compromised in the pool sometimes when it gets heavy. The hardest part about these deficit snatches is getting in the right position that I'm typically snatching in, because I'm like 3 inches above the, off the floor here. So it's quite a change. But I think if I stay disciplined enough and really focus on the technique, I can make this work. It's 105 kilos for a bunch of sets of 5. And I gotta tell you, man, 5s for deficit snatch pulls, I mean, that's tough. God damn. I thought Clarence was tough, but Greg Everett could be pretty tough too, it seems like. And then after this, I go straight into snatch segment deadlifts, which I think is going to be another thing that helps my pull. So like snatch segment, meaning you'll see here 1 inch off the ground and then at the knee and then to my power position. Now some of these aren't the best. It's definitely not 1 inch, but that's a little bit better. Like you barely just pull it off the ground and halt, and then you pull it to your knee and halt, and then you go to your power position. And I think these are going to help with some of those technique struggles as well. So I'm really looking forward to the Olympic lifting and like refining my technique. I think that's exciting, and I think it's going to work in the long run. There might be a few bad lifts here and there at the beginning, and it doesn't look like I'm knowing what I'm doing, but that's just a product of working on things, right? So after a few sets of those snatch segment deadlifts, I go into stiff leg deadlifts, because there's another thing that I really liked about Greg Everett's program, and why it made me pick it, was some of the accessories are some of the things that I really need to work on. I think I need to work on my hamstring strength. I think that's a reason why when I start doing heavy pulls, or I go to pull a heavy snatch off the ground or a heavy clean, I'm getting pulled forward a lot, or my back is changing positions. It's because my hamstrings aren't strong enough to keep me in that rock solid position that I'm supposed to be in off the ground. So a little bit of deep dive into some of the things that I'm thinking. If you guys have any questions about anything, please let me know. I mean, I'm happy to, I'm not a coach or anything, but I'm happy to work through some of this stuff with you guys, because it's fun, man. It's a lot of fun. That's why we do this, right? So I supersetted my stiff leg deadlifts with some hanging leg raises. I wanted to do some twisting motion too, just to get some extra oblique work. So I put straps on, and then I hang from the bar, and there we go. That's pretty much the whole session. After these, I do a couple sets of this, and then, like I said, I went home and I was like, damn, that was tough, and I don't think that's going to be sustainable in the long run, so let's change things up. And as soon as I'm done recording this video, I'm going to finish typing out my spreadsheet for this program, and that way I can print it off and have it available. So I'm excited. I think this program is going to serve me well. I think if I stick to the accessories and things like that, and some of the things that I wasn't doing in the old program, I think my body's going to be feeling a lot better, and it's going to be thanking me for it. So as of now, I think a bunch of us from the gym are going to compete at the Arnold in March. So that's what we got my eyes set on right now. So hopefully we can make a little bit of gains between now and then. And if not, I mean, we'll definitely make some gains between now and then. But then afterwards, 300 kilos is going to be within reaching distance, I think. So if you guys made it this long in the video, I really appreciate it as always. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.